So it doesn't say specifically that the fight will happen in X place or
No,
X
it doesn't.
cage.
It doesn't. It doesn't say that. It
I
just
heard,
talk. Honestly, if I gotta be honest with you, like I read my contract, but Bob reads over the contract, but I just kind of go to page 7.
and sign it.
Well, page 7 is the financial page.
Oh, okay,
The page
okay.
that I go to, and I read all the financial terms, and I'm like, okay, this works. I'm signing it. You know,
Can I ask a somewhat personal question? I mean,
yes, you may.
you could say no comment. Are we getting pay-per-view points or what?
Ariel,
Yeah.
I will say this completely and be completely honest with you.
None of your
Nothing
business.
in my contract has changed from when I was the champion.
Dang. Hey, it's good to be the corporate champ, baby.
It's but again, it's not even about the corporate. It's just about the way to handle business. So it's like, Ariel, think about it. Like when all these guys are saying that I'm like this and this and this, like maybe I'm just telling you the easiest way to go make a deal because it works for me. And I'm not asking, it's not like I'm going, okay, guys, could I just have, all right. I'm not just sitting there going, okay, guys, can I have 750,000 instead of 300,000? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that. I'm not asking for a little bit of money. It's not like I'm shortchanging myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm asking for a lot more money than I'm contracted to have. But because I do it in the right way, things work out. That's it. So maybe I'm not the corporate. Maybe it's not that I'm being corporate. Maybe I'm being in the way that allows for you to get business done.
No, there is a lesson there.
You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I'm just trying to tell you how to get business done and it work out for you opposed to doing it publicly. And I saw again, like the other day I saw Mr. Big Masvidal, right? I appreciate all you guys that supported me. But at the end of the day, now he's not getting his title shot and he's not getting his money. So, yeah, thanks for all the support. But are you guys going to cut me a check for $2 million? I think that's what it was reported that he made for Diaz. Like, are they going to get, like, all these people going to give him $2 million is what I'm asking.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it doesn't really work. It doesn't benefit you. You can be a rich guy that does business, or you can be a guy that everybody loves and you have all this street cred and street fame, but still not have the thing that's going to allow for you to make a better life for your family. That's it.
She wins by decision over Jessica Ai and likely to take her #1 ranking. Your thought on the main event over the weekend?
Well, it was interesting. You know, I was a little nervous for her in that fight because Ai just looked so much bigger than her, just looked to be the more powerful woman out there, but it just didn't matter. You know, for Ai, she just really struggled with her footwork, really wasn't able to get in the proper positioning, you know, to hit the target. Calvillo was moving much better, landing strikes from the outside, and anytime she committed to a takedown, she was essentially hitting it. And from there, she was largely dominant against Ai, who has continued to really struggle on the ground in the UFC. So I thought it was a great win for Calvillo. I think she showed some improvement on her feet. She seemed to be the more composed competitor out there. And, you know, Ai showed some toughness, but skill-wise just wasn't on par with Calvillo. So I like her in that weight class. I think she might be a little bit small as she moves up, and certainly as she faces people like Shevchenko, but a solid performance, no doubt about it. I thought it was pretty dominant.
Yeah, I would agree with all of that. I won't spend too much time on Jessica Ai, but in speaking, not on behalf of the fighters on this roster necessarily, but in speaking from a standpoint of talking to all of these athletes, most of these fighters, Kenny, just have absolutely no wiggle room, no respect, no sensitivity to a weight miss. Now, generally speaking, I am more inclined to pardon a woman, right? And she did only miss by a quarter of a pound, even though Cynthia Calvillo greatly contests that. But a middleweight contract is a middleweight contract. You're signing a bout agreement that says you're going to make 186 pounds. So most athletes, Kenny, that I talk to would say you're violating the contract when you miss weight, even if it's by a quarter pound. And when you're the division's #1 contender and you miss in a main event, I'm not surprised that Paul Felder and many others have levied criticism at the headlining athlete, Jessica Eye.
Absolutely. I mean, you know how I feel about this. I'm a stickler on this. If you're a professional fighter, not making weight is like not showing up to work on a Monday. It's unacceptable. This is what you sign up for. This is your job as a fighter. And unfortunately for Eye, she wasn't able to get it done. And that's not a good sign, too, because, you know, she has struggled with her weight in the past. And when you see these kind of consistencies, you start to wonder how bad she actually wants it.
Well, Cynthia Calvillo wants it pretty badly, and there's no denying her hunger. She's dealt with a lot of things in her personal and professional life, you know, team alpha male and some of the friction there. And then she aligned with Justin Buchholz, who is building a gym in the Sacramento area. But since I didn't cover this fight, I don't know the extent to which he was or wasn't available to her. She is now at the American Kickboxing Academy and was able to produce a main event win. And I'm very happy for her because she's a good kid, and I'm happy she's not cutting to strawweight anymore. I'm not in any great rush to see her fight Valentina Shevchenko. I think we have some similar problems in this flyweight division that we have with Amanda Nunes. But at the very least, Kenny, she's on the short list after what she did this weekend. I'm just not sure that she's right now ready for Valentina Shevchenko and all she brings to the table.
But one thing that all of the great fights, the fight of the night and the fight candidates of the year and all that, one thing they all have in common is a very high output. You have two guys really working very hard out there the entire time, and that's what you saw. How's he going to do in 25 minutes? Look, we can speculate. I am too. I think he's going to do just fine. How is he going to do is speculative until we see it. That's fair. But I'm just letting you know some of the pitfalls in your thinking. Now, let's go back to the question specifically. Is coming down from 230 to 185 going to be bad for his endurance? Well, that's all on the athlete. I don't think we've seen that yet. I don't think we've seen anything bad with his endurance. We've seen him have to push. He pushed just fine. He held up just fine. He held up longer than his opponent held up, which means he passes the test. Okay, fine. I will share with you, there is a byproduct to cutting weight. And as John Anik calls it, the necessary evil. That's very true, but I will just share, there is something about it, and each athlete has a weight class, and some guys do better bigger, but some guys need to be smaller because it's not a strength issue, it's not a height issue, it's not an opponent issue. There's a built-in mechanism and discipline to losing weight. And it's not just about cutting your calories while extending your output. There is extra runs that come in. And as a guy starts to get down to that specific weight class, he's having to do levels of run, which doesn't just get the weight off, it gets him into shape. And some guys on their discipline, if you put them in a different weight class, they don't go do that same work. They don't do it because they don't have to do it. And therefore, those runs aren't there, which means the conditioning that comes from the run is now absent. I cannot share with you without a doubt that Paulo is one of those guys. I believe Paulo Acosta is a light heavyweight fighting a middleweight. I think he's got a big problem with Adesanya that isn't going to go anywhere, and they're going to go figure this out no matter what weight they have to make, but I don't know that he's going to stick around the 185-pound weight class for the balance of his career. I think he's one of those guys that's going to enjoy life up a little bit, but that isn't the question I'm attempting to answer. The question that was asked to me is going from 230 down to 185 bad for your conditioning? I can only share with you stories of specific athletes who I have seen who needed that weight cut to then have the discipline and the byproducts that come along with getting that weight off, which meant they were going to be in great shape. Some of the guys I knew that were just in the best shape, that some of them cut the most amount. And it wasn't they had to cut the weight. That wasn't what that was just what needed to be done to make the work happen that then built that gas tank. Paulo appears to me to be that guy. I think the same in large part is said for Adesanya, but not for the same reasons. Adesanya does not have to cut a lot of weight to make 185 pounds, but he's one of the rare guys who will still go and do the work. He'll just have the energy to do it. He can have a quick snack, get something in his system, and then go out and burn it off. I mean, great. If you've got the mental toughness to do that, and Adesanya, great. Some other guys have to have some of these built-in mechanisms. It's not a negative. It's a reality of knowing yourself and operating within the confines of what makes you the best.